I did.
Nobody signed up.
I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's Board of Directors meeting. This is the 12th business meeting of the Board of Directors of the City of Hot Springs, and our invocation tonight will be led by Pastor Alfred Jones and a Pledge of Allegiance by Randy Foley. Please rise.
Father God, we thank you for this opportunity to lead. We ask that you would bless the members of this committee, the mayor, and those who work with him. We ask for wisdom to make the right decisions. We ask for patience to be able to understand another point of view. And we ask, Lord, for love for one another as we seek to make Hot Springs a model city, a better city. Help us to know how to do that. And so we ask tonight that you would bless this meeting and everything that goes on it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Would you join me in the pledge? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now call this meeting to order. First action item tonight is the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions, oh, excuse me. Got to do a roll call.
Roll call. Davidson.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Garcia.
Here.
Foley.
Here.
McCabe.
Here. Now our first action item is the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions, deletions, or items to be moved from the consent agenda to new business? Hearing none.
I move that we.
Got a motion by Director Jones to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Seconded by Director Garcia. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Agenda is approved. Now we have the approval of minutes. We had a special called meeting, minutes of a special call meeting that was held on June 12th, 2018, and the regular meeting held on June 19th, 2018. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to either sets of those minutes? Director Williams.
Yes, Mayor McCabe, I move for approval of both sets of minutes.
Thank you. Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Recognition of guests. We have a proclamation to read tonight honoring Don Zimmerman for his public service to both the state and to the city of Hot Springs. And Mr. Zimmerman was the longtime executive director of the Arkansas Municipal League. Proclamation reads as follows. Whereas Don Allen Zimmerman of Little Rock, longtime executive director of the Arkansas Municipal League and a true champion and friend of the cities and towns of his beloved state, died Sunday, June 24, 2018, at the age of 75. And whereas Don was a transformational figure for local governments and worked tirelessly on behalf securing federal aid and advocating state legislation. And whereas Don helped create the Municipal League Defense Program, Municipal Health Benefit Fund, Municipal League Workers' Compensation Trust, Firefighter Supplemental Income Protection and Death Benefit Program, and the Municipal Vehicle and Property Programs, saving Arkansas cities and towns millions of dollars over the last 3 decades. And whereas Don worked towards the passage of legislation allowing a local option sales tax, the State Aid City Street Program, Amendment 97 for Economic Development, and most recently led the effort to bring litigation against the opioid industry to help alleviate the opioid epidemic in Arkansas. And whereas just days before his passing, through the United States Supreme Court decision, Don helped pave the way for cities to collect sales tax from online retailers. And whereas Don Zimmerman's vision and dedication have transformed cities across Arkansas, helping them to grow and thrive. Now therefore, I, Pat McKay, Mayor of the City of Hot Springs, on behalf of the Board of Directors, do hereby proclaim July 3rd, 2018 as Don Zimmerman Day in Hot Springs, Arkansas. A witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city to be affixed on this 3rd day of July in the year of our Lord, 2018. Don Zimmerman remained as the executive director of the Arkansas Municipal League up to his passing. So at the age of 75, he was still very active and very instrumental in the affairs of communities across the state. So he will be missed. At this time, we have the interim city manager's report. Mr. Burrows.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Just a couple of items. The Hot Springs Compost Facility located at 318 Davidson Drive will give away surplus wood chips and logs during the month of July. Loading will be provided free of charge from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. For more information, you can call 262-3572 or go to the city's website. And again, free wood chips for the month of July. Next, Mayor, all city offices except public safety and the airport will be closed tomorrow in observance of Independence Day. Solid waste residential collection, CAP services, and Earth Angel recycling will occur one day later than normal, Wednesday on Thursday, Thursday on Friday, Friday on Saturday. Solid waste commercial collection will take place as scheduled on Wednesday. Intercity transit bus and paratransit service will be suspended, and the city's compost facility will be closed as well tomorrow. Mayor, we began servicing the recently annexed area this week. Things have gone very smoothly. The members of that particular area, or the citizens of that particular area, we want to welcome them, and they will be receiving an informational pack probably towards the end of this week. I believe that went out today, so with the holiday, I assume that it will be Thursday or Friday before they actually receive those. That informational pack will have a welcome letter explaining the city services, as well as a trifold of all the city services that they are now eligible to receive. So we want to make sure that those newly annexed citizens are well welcomed in the city and know what benefits come along with that. Next, just a kudos to our finance department. The city's 2017 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. This is a set of financial statements comprising the financial report of the city. It can be found online at the city's website. If you go to cityhs.net to the document center, you're able to view the full comprehensive financial report for the city for 2017. We've had a couple of citizens call about that document, so it is out there online for anybody's peruse. And lastly, staff has continued to work on the H2O Hot Springs. This is the assistance program that we've been working on since the beginning of the year. We're very close to having the final areas of the agreement with one of the nonprofits here in town who will be administering that program. Once we finalize the document and the city attorney is able to review that and approve the language, then we will be bringing that to the board for adoption. Once the board approves, if the board approves that particular program, we'll start a public relations campaign to get this message out of what the program will entail and how people can go about getting assistance. And this is for the city's utility bill, whether that's water, wastewater. It's throughout the utility bill. So we're very close to having that program completed and ready for review and then brought to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Do any directors have announcements of upcoming events? Anything you'd like to share upcoming? Just a reminder that the Red, White, and Blue picnic will be going on tomorrow from about 10:30 a.m. to 4 down at Arlington Lawn. Proceeds will be used to help renovate or secure the Maurice Bathhouse. This is the Friends of the Fordyce. or Friends of the Park are leading this charge, and a number of individuals will be at the grill. Myself will be at the grill. I would suggest that you wait until Matt Fuller gets at the grill, or Mike Dampier gets at the grill. Mike Petty will be at the grill, but I don't know about Mike's cooking, but we got 4 of us be going, so keep us busy. Please keep us busy, because the 6 hours or 5.5 hours would be a long time if we don't sell any burgers or hot dogs. So we'll actually be set up on Fountain Street within a row of parking areas. There we have secured some of those spots. So please come out and eat and have fun there on Arlington lawn. I heard this yesterday, I think, on the radio or on Facebook, read on Facebook, but I experienced it as well several years ago with fireworks. I lost my dog during the fireworks going on in the neighborhood, and that's when I lived on Quapaw, and I didn't realize it for a few hours, so I went up on West Mountain and called my dog, just hoping the dog was up there, and I could hear something coming down the mountain towards us, rustling, and I had no idea what it was. And but I had a female Rottweiler at that time, and she's a pretty good-sized dog, but she was dragging her chain, so it sounded like a whole herd of something coming down the mountain, and my little flashlight didn't extend very far in the darkness, but she was running away from the fireworks. So please, please, please secure your pets and take precautions. There was some tips they shared, putting them in a room, turning the radio on a little louder than perhaps what the fireworks might be, or actually just getting in your car and driving away. Go to a friend's house for the evening away from fireworks. So
I believe they're not allowed, private ones aren't allowed in the city limits.
In the city limits.
okay.
They're not allowed.
Well, that's every year.
Yeah.
It's every year. And that
But
was-
anyways, we love our pets. We don't want to lose them. And so please, 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 secure your pets. Okay. If no one else has any other announcements of upcoming events, I have 2 additional announcements. Director Williams did such a splendid job as the assistant mayor for the first 6 months of this year. And that rotates every 6 months. And Director Garcia will serve, and I'm sure she'll do equally as well as Director Williams.
I got to preside over one agenda meeting.
And the reports on that was splendid. You did great. Director Garcia may actually have an opportunity to do more than that. So, but anyways, so Director Garcia will be the assistant mayor from July through December. And we also, at each of your place settings, you have a board of directors meeting schedule for the balance of the year, both the agenda meeting and the board meeting. So please make sure you put that in your schedule. At this time, we'll do the consent agenda. Again, the consent agenda is items that are routine in nature and do not merit discussion. We only have 3 items within the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Director Foley, Director Williams. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is approved. Consent agenda is approved. We have 3 new business items to be addressed by the Board of Directors this evening. The first item is resolution number R-1898, and I'd ask the city attorney to read by title.
Resolution R-1898, a resolution awarding a contract to Christ Engineers, Inc. for certain professional services related to safety compliance improvements project located at Bethel, Dillon, Ricks, and Sanderson Lakes dams. That concludes your reading, Mayor. If you would entertain a motion second to adopt.
We have a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. And our staff member, Mr. Pillar, Engineering Project Manager, will provide an overview. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, members of the board.
This resolution is an award a contract to our consultant engineer for safety improvements for all 4 dams. As Brian said, Bethel, Dillon, Ricks, and Sanderson. The contract will have a variety of engineering functions at each site. There's really 4 projects in just one project. The biggest of being extensive geotechnical work that's done at each site, along with topographic surveying from above and below the water line. With that information, they'll put together a set of bid documents, plans and specs, and for the contractors to bid on the construction portion, and they will provide the construction inspection services as part of that contract. Engineering has set up the contract value at $1,209,350, and this is a not to exceed number. And the reason for that is there's a lot of unknowns at each site, and we use the worst case scenario, but we may see a savings. The funding for the contract will be from the board-approved 2018 water bonds, and this is our first big step towards the water bonds. And if there's, with that, is there any other clarification I can do for board members? I'll be happy.
Any questions of Mr. Pillar? Thank you.
Straightforward.
We had no members of the audience signed up to speak on this issue. Any discussion amongst directors? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Thank you.
Davidson,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Clark,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Folly,
Aye.
McCabe.
Aye. Resolution is adopted. At this time, we'll consider Resolution 01824. In order to move forward, I will entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read by title.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a seconded to suspend the rules. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is approved. Council, please read ordinance by title.
Ordinance 01824, an ordinance approving C3 zoning on 1.7 acres, more or less, at 2510 Malvern Avenue, amending the future land use plan map to designate the area neighborhood commercial and for other purposes. That concludes your reading, Mayor. If you would, entertain a motion second to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
So move.
So moved by Director Jones, seconded by
Second.
Director Clark. I knows. It's got in there. We got Kathy Selman, Director of Planning. Give a
Thank you.
staff report on this subject.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
The applicant on this item is Chris Polycron, and that's on behalf of the owner, Mrs. Ginger Kate. And the request is for C3 Office Neighborhood Commercial District zoning on 1.7 acres at 2510 Malvern Avenue. At this time, it's zoned R2 Suburban Residential, and it's located in the Malvern Avenue Overlay District. It has a future land use plan map designation of residential low density, and it's in Board of Directors District Number 6. The subject property is located to the east across Piper Street from East Ridge Commercial Subdivision. There are a couple of banks going in there now near Carpenter Dam Road. That is the location. As something which is within the Malvern Avenue Overlay District, the purpose of that district is to protect and enhance the visual appearance and character, promote traffic safety, and maintain harmony with adjacent residential neighborhoods along Malvern Avenue. Specifically looking to establish land uses that will facilitate transition of areas from less to more intense land uses along Malvern Avenue without the undesired effect of small lot strip development, and to set standards for landscaping, signs, design, and parking lot lighting, which are in keeping with the intent of this overlay district. And to clarify, that overlay district is in place now, will remain in place should you determine to rezone this property. Planning Commission duly advertised and conducted a public hearing at their regularly scheduled meeting on June 14th, 2018. After calling for testimony and deliberating, Planning Commission accepted findings and recommendation of the staff report and recommend to the Board of Directors that you adopt an ordinance amending the zoning map and future land use plan map by zoning the subject property CTR Commercial Transitional District and designating the future land use as Neighborhood Commercial Center because Planning Commission made a specific finding that the change will be compatible with the surrounding zoning and development, responds to also a significant change in surrounding physical conditions. Planning Commission's vote was 6-2, with Commissioners Guthrie and Adams voting no, and Commissioner Jeanette abstaining. Other than the applicant, no one testified for or against this item.
Very good. Any questions of Ms. Selman?
Mayor, I just point out, before you call anyone else to speak on this, there is a slight deviation in the description of the property. The title to the ordinance referenced this as 1.7 acres. I'll point out that the ordinance does not reflect a specific designation of acreage. The legal description is taken from the warranty deed, which was filed of record in 2010. The assessor's office has it listed as 1.6 acres. So it's 1.6, 1.7, somewhere in that area.
Thank you.
Director Garcia?
Was there any discussion or any concern about traffic? Because this is on the other side of the street from the East Ridge, right?
Yes, it is.
They have access to go back to Carpenter Dam and up to the light to make a left turn if there's a lot of traffic. Was there any information about traffic?
There were questions about traffic from the planning commissioners. I would point out, and this is in your staff report as well, that this is a state highway,
Yeah.
which is built with significant unused capacity at this time. Is built to handle quite a bit of traffic.
So right in front of there's still a turning lane, or not?
In
No,
front of which,
there's not.
Director?
In front of this property, there's not a turning lane.
No, there is not. There is not. At the time of development, and there is no development anticipated at this time, that is something that would be evaluated, typically through a traffic study, to determine whether additional improvements to the road are necessary. And that would be a cost borne by the developer.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I would just point out that because it is in the Malvern Avenue Overlay District, a site plan must be submitted to the planning
Okay.
department for approval.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions of Ms. Selman? Thank you, Kathy. We have one individual who has signed up to speak, and that's Mr. Polycron. Chris, come on up.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm only here, I have no additional information, I'm just here if you had any questions.
Any questions of Mr. Polycron? Thank you. Any discussion amongst board members? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Jones.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Garcia.
Aye.
Folly.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
McCabe.
Aye. Ordinance is adopted. Our final action item of the evening is to consider ordinance number 01825. And I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
So move.
Got a motion?
Second.
And we have a second. Please, legal counsel, please read. All in favor of the motion to suspend the rules, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion's approved. Please read by title.
Ordinance 01825, an ordinance approving C3 zoning on 1.5 acres more or less at 2514 Malvern Avenue, amending the future land use plan map and designating the area neighborhood commercial and for other purposes. That concludes your reading, Mayor. If you would, entertain a motion and a second to adopt.
Motion
So
to
moved.
adopt, Director Foley, seconded by
Second.
Director Jones. And
Thank you.
Kathy Selman, Director of Planning, will give us a very similar report
It
as to the
will be
previous
similar.
item.
The facts are very similar. This is the property next door to the item on ordinance 18-24. The applicant, once again, is Chris Polychrome on behalf of the property owner, which is represented by M. Reed Greenwood. Again, seeking C3 office neighborhood commercial district zoning for 1.5 acres at 2514 Malvern Avenue. Currently zoned R2 suburban residential, located in the Malvern Avenue Overlay District. Future land use plan map designation of residential low density and located in Board District Number 6. Planning Commission advertised and conducted a public hearing at their regularly scheduled meeting on June 14th. After calling for testimony and deliberating, Planning Commission accepted findings and recommendation of the staff report, recommended that the Board of Directors adopt an ordinance amending the zoning map and the future land use plan map by zoning the subject property CTR, Commercial Transitional District, and designating the future land use as Neighborhood Commercial Center because Planning Commission made a specific finding that the change will be compatible with surrounding zoning and development and responds to a significant change in surrounding physical conditions. The Planning Commission's vote was 6-2, with Guthrie and Adams citing traffic as to their no vote, with Commissioner Jeanette abstaining, and other than the applicant, no one testified for or against.
Very good. Any questions of Planning Director Selman?
Mayor, I'd just also like to point out that while the title to this ordinance does reference 1.5 acres, the body of the ordinance itself contains the language that was cited within a deed of 1960, which also does not reference acreage. The assessor's office has this at 2.2. So again, somewhere in that range.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, we had one individual sign up to speak, and Mr. Polychrome, I got a feeling his comments will be similar to what they were a minute ago.
Same story, yes.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. Polychrome?
Well, I'll thank all of you for your service, though.
All right. Any discussion amongst directors? I just want to make a comment. I've always enjoyed how each of you have kept up your properties over the years. I drive that on occasion, and it's always I always enjoy when I make the curve there how well maintained the properties are. It's always been very, very beautiful area. Thank you. Wow.
Wow.
Very nice. Okay. Please call the roll.
Clark,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Garcia,
Aye.
Folly,
Aye.
Davidson,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
McCabe.
Aye. Ordinances adopted. Well, we're coming to the end of the meeting. Board of Directors comments. Any director have a comment? Director Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to publicly thank our city attorney, Brian Albright, our city manager, Bill Burrow, assistant city manager, Lance Spicer, and fire chief, Ed Davis, for a community meeting we had in District 5 last week. They did an excellent job. We had a good turnout, and they got excellent feedback. One of the best informational meetings that the residents had received, and appreciated all of you being there and answering the number of questions that were posed to you and the information that you shared. And also wanted to thank Randy from Sanitation and the good job they do on sending out these messages, reminding us when there is a delay on our trash pickup, when the holiday impacts that, and the timing of those, so we know exactly which days. And it's very helpful for the people, for myself and the people that I hear from that are appreciative of that. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Any other comments from directors? Want to thank Doretha and her staff for all their hard work in putting the CAFR together. I know from hospital experience that pulling together the financial documents to complete those type of reports can be challenging, and the time frame in which you have to work never seems to be quite enough. So I'm sure you put in some long hours and had people digging around for stuff. So thank you for your efforts, and please extend that to your staff from the board of directors. So we do appreciate that. And it tells us always too, when we get good reports back, that we have confidence in the financials.
Since you commented on that, I always ask Doretha this. What pages do I need to go to get what I really want to get to? Can you answer that? This is going to say read it from front to back.
Go to the footnotes.
If you read it from front to back, you'll know what's going on in the city.
I don't know the page numbers, but the management's discussion and analysis, which is at the beginning of the book, is a synopsis of what's happened.
Okay.
But
Thank you,
the
Doretha.
statistic information is very good.
An accountant would say that.
It's good for everybody.
Some of you may have seen a construction sign out in front of the Hale Bathhouse this past week, and you may not see any activity going on in the bathhouse, you don't see anything in the front yard. There is demolition going on in the back of inside the second floor of the rear of the bathhouse. So it has all been, significant demolition has occurred inside, and I was told by Tuesday of next week, all the demolition will be done. And so we'll start the return to glory process.
Very nice.
So,
Congratulations.
so we're,
You're happy.
It's exciting.
we're happy to be started.
Yes.
We'll wait we'll see how it all plays out. So, if nobody has anything else, I think Director Jones, you have make sure everybody has a safe 4th of July.
Will everyone have a safe 4th of July? I hope and pray that everything goes as well as can be expected. And I move that we adjourn the meeting for tonight.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned, and be careful out there. Enjoy your 4th, and we'll see you next week.